I want to actually just make a small note here, because when we talk about challenges, I think it's important to, for sure, all of us are faced with challenges. And if you think about Judaism, Judaism really is the ultimate in deferred gratification. Everybody knows what deferred gratification is? No. Deferred gratification is, for example, I'll give you a very basic example. Deferred gratification is dieting.
You're like pushing away
Somebody wants
limiting the gratification, essentially.
You're deferring the gratification. In other words, you want to eat this big.
That's a nice way of saying what's called delayed gratification.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, making a bracha before we eat.
1 second. The delayed gratification is that rather than eat this big donut in front of you, you say, no, I don't want to eat this donut in front of me. Why? Because I want to be skinny. So the gratification will be that you're going to be skinny. The delay, and by not eating this huge jelly donut, so you contributed so to a certain extent. So Judaism really is the ultimate in delayed gratification. Hashem says, don't eat this, don't do that, don't look here, don't be immoral, don't kill, don't, all of the don'ts, and also along with that the mitzvahs aseh. But it's a whole exercise in delayed gratification. Why? Because we believe that everything we're doing here ultimately will produce for us the ultimate gratification, and really the only real gratification, the only real pleasure that really is, which is to be close to Hashem in Olam Haba. But in the meantime, we're given quite a long list of things that we can't do. So how does a person approach this? How do you, okay, you've been educated in a certain way, so you've been given the benefit of a certain amount of habituation. Certain things you don't think about. A guy comes into Or Sameach, he's been not religious all of his life, so it's a challenge for him not to light up a cigarette on Shabbos, or to turn a light on. For you and me, we don't think twice about turning lights on. It's just something that Rav Dessler talks about, something called the point of Bechira. You ever heard this idea?
Yeah.
So the idea is that a person is challenged on his level, and as he becomes closer to Hashem, the challenge goes up and up and up, becomes more and more subtle. Like for you and us, me, maybe it's a problem. What? Yes, Nekudat Bechira. The point of where you're challenged. But I was thinking there's something that a person can do to help himself in this challenge, because we are surrounded by challenges all the day. And I was thinking that, there's once a day, if a person has a temptation to do something, and it could be even something mutter. Let's say, there's an extra piece of, lunch. There's a nice, they have a fleischig lunch here? Is the lunch good here?
Lunch is okay.
I try to think of something tasty. So, okay, like you're in a 5-star restaurant, right? And the waitress comes around and says, so would you like another piece of whatever it is? So you could say yes, you probably want it. Say no. It's not a particularly difficult thing to do, but actually it is quite difficult. By saying no, by training yourself to say no on things which are really not that difficult, you'll find that it's much easier to say no to things which are much more appealing. For example, I'll give you an example. The wall of books falls down at the back of the base medrash. What does everybody do? Everybody turns around. What are you going to see? Books on the floor. Why are you looking? Curiosity. Or you're walking down the street and there's a whole crowd of people gather around this hole, and of course what's going on there? Something fascinating. They're laying a cable, right? Wow. Or, like a plane goes overhead. Everybody looks up. You've never seen a plane before? You see, these are things which are really not that appetizing, not really, how do you say, moshech? How do you say translate moshech? Yeah, more like tempting. Yeah. So if you do that, and if you practice once a day, find one thing to say no to, even a small thing, it's like being in the gym. Right, you go into the gym. You want to lift. I don't know what's a lot of weight. Who pumps iron here?
Let's say
Let's
say 225 pounds.
So 225 pounds. You want to pump 225 pounds, right? You walk in the gym. What happens? Get out of here. Yeah. Okay, where do you start?
start low.
5 kilos.
Yeah, you
Start at the bottom. So if you do resist things which are really very easy, like looking at cables being laid, or planes flying overhead, or books flying on the floor, you'll see when something comes along which is a 225-pound challenge, like something that we know we shouldn't be looking at, right, which is all over our world,
Yeah,
you will be able, you will maybe have a split second there where you trained your mind to say, I don't need to look. But you're not going to be able to stand up to that challenge if you don't go to the gym. 225 pounds comes and hits you out of the side, you forget it. But if you've been to the gym, right, you've done some arm curls with 2 pounds, right? But you've done it for a long time, and then you've got 5 pounds, and you build up that idea that I control where I look. I control what I do. I control what I eat. The more you practice flick that control switch, the more you'll be able to, when you're in a situation of real nisoyim, where there's something really geschmack to look at, you'll be able to say no. Hashem says no. And I'm in control. I choose what I do.